All right, let's jump right in. Does your body need a birth control break every now and again? Let's talk about it. Hey friends, welcome back. I'm Dr. Jennifer Lincoln, board certified OBGYN, and I use social media to educate, empower, and bust the many myths that are out there about vaginal and reproductive health. And this one is one that needs to be busted. How many of you watching right now have heard or have been told that you need to take a break from birth control every now and again to keep your body healthy and to keep your hormones balanced? So I'll just jump right out and tell you, this is a total myth, but this is a really damaging one, and unfortunately one that's really common and a lot of people think is true. So what I'm going to talk about is why it's not true and actually what the harm could be. So once again, we have TikTok to thank here for a post I was tagged in, and people were wondering, is this really true? So let's pull it up and let's play it here. Okay, here we go.
Did you know that if you're on the pill, you really should come off it once a year for about a month? Why? Your body needs a chance to reset your hormones back to their natural pattern. Whilst you're on the pill, that's not possible. So taking a month off just gives you that little bit of time to get your body back into balance and to prevent the onset of post-pill infertility when you do decide you want to get off the pill and conceive.
Okay. So that is just one person, and I'm not here to come after that one person, although I do have problems with somebody who makes their entire social media account about how they're a hormone expert and a fertility expert, and they're not actually that, and they prey on people who are trying to conceive, who are clearly in a vulnerable position, and it makes me angry. Okay. I need to meditate more. Okay, so let's break this down. So this is completely not true, and it's based in absolutely zero evidence. There is positively no medical reason that your body needs to reset or needs to somehow come off birth control to get back in sync with itself. That makes no sense. And so the proposed reasons are to rebalance or because of hormone buildup, which is not how it works. All of these are completely false. So let's talk about what could happen if you decide to come off your birth control for reasons like this. She says once a year. I have no idea where that recommendation is from. Again, there's no references, there's no data. The first thing that can happen when you come off your birth control for a reset, you could get pregnant. So there are lots of people I have seen and treated in my career who ran out of their birth control or who came off it because they just wanted to take a break and they had no intentions of becoming pregnant. And guess what? They ended up pregnant. So unintended pregnancy, which already accounts for over half of the pregnancies here in the United States, will only increase if you're telling people to randomly stop taking their pill. And if you think that's not that big a deal, that kind of is. And can you imagine if you accidentally get pregnant and then you later hear that you didn't need a birth control break and the reason you got pregnant is because you listened to somebody who calls themselves a fertility queen? Hey, second thing that can happen. What if you're not just using your pill for birth control? What if you're using it to manage heavy or painful periods? Now you're telling people that they need to come off it however many times you've decided they need to come off it. And so in that time, they are subject to heavy periods, painful periods. They may not be able to go to work or school. Why are we making them suffer unnecessarily for some ridiculous birth control reset? I mean, that just angers me. Third reason. So some people, and I know this might be mind-blowing, some people don't use birth control for birth control reasons. They might use it for PMS or really bad PMDD or premenstrual dysphoric disorder. These are real issues. And when you are telling people they need to stop using their birth control, you are saying that maybe their mental health doesn't count and that in those months that they come off it, they're just going to have to deal with their debilitating symptoms. And that's not fair. And the other thing that is just super cringy, and the thing that makes me the most angry about this, is that she's putting blame on people for using birth control. And she says that if you don't come off of it periodically, or if you just use birth control, there's a risk of post-pill infertility. I have many tattoos in mind as an OBGYN, but one that's in the running is that birth control doesn't cause infertility. Maybe on my forehead or my arm, or I'll take out money to use, on roadside signs. I don't know, but no birth control has ever been shown to cause infertility. And I've covered this elsewhere, and you can click on the links to watch other YouTubes where I've covered this. And unfortunately, it seems no matter how many times we in the medical community cover this, there is still that undercurrent myth of birth control causes infertility. And it's completely not true. It might be related to why you were put on birth control, because if you had irregular periods and they're regular while you're on birth control, they're going to be irregular when you come off it most likely. Or if you're on birth control for 15 years, your fertility when you're 15 years older is not the same as when you started it 15 years ago. And that has nothing to do with birth control. What she's doing here, and again, it's not just about her. There are so many people online on social media who call themselves hormone experts, fertility experts, and they're not. They are not OBGYNs or reproductive endocrinologists or infertility physicians, and they make money off of this fear-based marketing. And so they say, use birth control, you're gonna have infertility issues. Well, guess what they want to do next? They want you to buy their detox program, buy their book, buy their supplements, enroll in their programs, come see them in clinic. And in fact, this person's entire TikTok account is all about how you can consult with her and set up appointments. So they are directly marketing financially from creating this fear. And it would be one thing if you had data, but there's no data. You can't make up stories. And as always, in my show notes, I've got references and resources and actual studies that show that this is not true, because I believe that you are really smart and you can make these decisions for yourself. So go ahead and look at the data and then decide if you feel okay being on your birth control. And if you don't, that's okay. But if you want to be on it, I don't want you to be scared out of it because of misinformation like this on the internet. So let's wrap this up. Does your body need a birth control break? No, it doesn't. You can stop using birth control if you feel that you want to, 100%, but please don't be made to feel that you need to stop it because of misinformation like this. And what should you do when you see this misinformation? Well, I believe that when you engage with these accounts, you are only increasing their visibility in the algorithm, and that doesn't help. So if you're following them, stop. The best thing to do is to report misinformation, which is what I think is the only way that we're going to get to where we need to be, which is people seeing that we will not tolerate this misinformation out there. Unfortunately, they put this stuff out there and they're not held accountable, and that's why they get to where they are today. Please, if you found this content useful, go ahead, subscribe, and turn on the bell so that we can get more good information out into the hands of people who are so desperately wanting it and who are being inundated by the garbage out there. And as always, go ahead and follow me on TikTok and Instagram for more at Dr. Jennifer Lincoln. Thanks so much, everybody, and stay safe. Bye-bye.